Hi everyone, Mrs. Simmons here. Today we are going to read a Scholastic News for our social studies lesson, and then there's an activity at the end for you guys to do. So before we get started, I want everyone to look at the front cover of our Scholastic News. In our white letters that are blue outlined, this is the title of our article. It is called Holiday Economics. So this time of year, many people are thinking about buying gifts and other treats. That means they are thinking about economics. Economics is the way that people make and use money. So we're going to look at the way that people make money and the way that people use money. So before we get started, I'm going to take a minute to go over some vocabulary words that we're going to see throughout our reading so that we understand what the article is trying to tell us. So our first vocabulary word we already started talking about is economics. So economics is the way that people make and use money. Earning money, saving money, and spending money are all part of economics. So think about what are ways that we earn money. You might earn money from cutting your neighbor's grass, this time of year, shoveling their snow. I make money by being a teacher. Your parents might make money other ways, so depending on whatever their jobs are. Saving money, so when you make money, a lot of times you want to put it in the bank and save it so that you can buy things or have money in case you need it. And lastly, it says spending money. I think we all know how to spend money. Spending money is definitely easier than earning and saving money. So when we spend money, that means we're buying something. So if you go to the store and you buy a new video game, or you go and you buy a new outfit, or you go and get your hair done. Those are different ways that you're spending money, and that's all part of economics. Our next word is goods. So this is important to know what a good is because we're going to talk a lot about goods. So things that people make or grow. People can buy or sell goods. Groceries are goods. So things that people make or grow. Okay, so a good, for example, in this picture, we see banana, apples, orange. So those are goods, something that's grown. So it's something that you can buy or sell. Another type of good would be your car, your parents' car, your cell phone, the clothes that you wear. Those are all different types of goods. And then our last vocabulary word is service. So we're going to talk a lot about goods and services. So services are different than goods. They are an action people do for others, sometimes for money. Giving a haircut is a service. So a service is an action people do for others. So a service in this picture is someone getting their haircut. Getting your haircut is a service. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started and remember what the difference between the goods and the difference of service. The perfect present. Imagine that you want to give a special gift. How can you use your money? What can you buy? Here's one economics story. Ben wants to buy his cousin Izzy a present. Izzy loves baseball. Ben remembers that her favorite baseball bat broke. He will get her a new bat. Baseball bats are goods. Goods are things that people make or grow. So remember, that was one of our vocabulary words, goods. And a good in this section is Ben is buying a baseball bat for his cousin Izzy. So a bat, a baseball bat, is a good. Ben and his dad shop online for a bat. Ben has $17. He sees a metal bat that costs $25. That's too much. Then he sees a wooden bat that costs $15. That's just right. Ben's dad helps him buy the wooden bat. They have it mailed to Izzy's house. The bat has to travel a long way to get to Izzy. Postal workers bring it from one place to another. The Postal Service are doing a service. A service is a thing people do for others. Okay, so the person who delivers Izzy's bat to her, the postal worker, the mailman, that is a service. After a few days, Izzy's doorbell rings. It's a postal worker with a present just for Izzy. So this part of the article is focusing on goods and services. So what is something that is a good in this article? I want you to think about it. What was the good in this article? So the good in this article was the baseball bat. So goods are things that people make or grow. So the baseball bat that Ben bought for Izzy is the good. What is something that is a service in this part of the article? Remember, a service is a thing people do for others. So in this part of the article, the postal workers are providing a service. So they're doing something for people. They are doing something for Ben. They're delivering the bat to Izzy. So the good is the baseball bat and the service is the postal worker. Path of a present. If you look at this first picture, it says workers make bats in a factory. They put the bats in boxes so they can be mailed. So here's a picture of the factory that the bats are being made in, and they box them up so they can be mailed. Ben and his dad shop online for a bat. They choose to buy the wooden bat for Izzy. So in the story, they talked about looking online to see which bat they could buy. And remember, Ben only had $17, so they found two different bats, but they had to buy the one that Ben had enough money for. Picture number 3. The box with Izzy's bat is put on a truck. A driver takes it away. Driving a truck is a service. So after the bats were made and boxed, they're given to the truck driver and they drive the bat to where it needs to go, to the mail, to the postal service area. So that is a service. Number 4, the purple outline. The box goes to the post office. The workers help mail it to Izzy. Mailing things is a service. And lastly, number 5, the present goes across the country to Izzy's house. Izzy loves her new bat. So in the path of the present, down below here, we looked at steps 1 through 5, the process it takes for Izzy to get the bat that Ben ordered for her. So where do the baseball bats start? So where's the first place that they start in this journey? They start at the first one, number 1. Workers make bats in a factory. They put the bats in boxes so they can be mailed. Okay, so that's where it all begins. In the factory where they make the bats and then they box them. What is one service that helps get the baseball bats to Izzy? So there were a few different services in this section that allowed Izzy to get a bat. What was one of the services? There's actually 3. So the first one is the workers who are making the bat. That's a service they're making. Number 3, they box up the bat and the truck drivers take it to the post office. And number 4, the post office sends it out with the mail carriers, the postal workers, and they deliver it to her house. So those are all different types of services in this journey to get Izzy her bat. So the last thing we're going to look at is the back of our article. We're only going to do one because you guys are actually going to be doing this as part of your assignment for today. So you're going to look at each of these pictures and you're going to determine if they are a good or a service. So remember, a good is something that people make or grow, and a service is something that people do for others. So we're only going to do the first one. The first one that's outlined in blue says giving a checkup. So when you go to the doctors and you get a checkup, is that a good or a service? That is a service. So that is something that people do for others. When you go to the doctors, your doctor is giving you a checkup. So that's something that they do for you. So that would be considered a service. So after this video, I have a few different slides that you guys are going to complete, and you are going to look at each picture and you are going to decide whether they are a good or a service. So one last time, remember, a good is something that people make or grow, and a service is something that people do for others.